I don't understand immunology. An immunology paper has a concentration of alphabet soup acronyms so high, even working at the synchrotron hasn't prepared me for it. Despite my best efforts to avoid the topic of immunology, which was successful for most of my life, the last couple of years have made it impossible to ignore. All of a sudden, we're surrounded by acronyms and initialisms and Greek letters. I mean, people on Twitter are talking about how many mutations Omicron has on its spike protein. And this is normal Twitter, not weird microbiology Twitter. So I've decided to start learning about the immune system. It's immensely complex, has a huge number of interlocking parts, and it stops us from dying every day. But I'm not quite ready for three-letter acronyms, or heaven forbid, ones with numbers in. No, I'm going to start with a nice single-letter part of the immune system, and that single letter is T. The T in T cells stands for thymus, which is an organ I was surprised to learn I have. It sits behind your sternum and is the control center for T cell production. I was, to be honest, disappointed that T cells were not T-shaped because I'm a structural biologist and I like things to be named what they look like. There are a number of different types of T cells, and they're essentially cell inspectors and mercy killers. T cells float about checking that your cells are functioning properly. Special cells present proof that there's nothing unusual happening in your body in the form of bits of proteins that the cell normally makes. The T cells check these fragments and give healthy cells the go-ahead. If there's an infection, though, cells might start presenting weird things on their surface. Say if it's found a cell infected with, a novel coronavirus that keeps ruining people's travel plans. Cells may start presenting bits of the viral proteins, like a cry for help. In this case, an inspector T cell would notice the unusual surface decoration and sound the alarm. The alarm in this case is a cloud of signals for more T cells to get into the fight, to start replicating, to search for infected cells, and to burst them by filling them with punch holes in cell walls. They also rally a bunch of other immune cells and give them a morale boost. Go forth and kill anything that looks like this. How do T cells know what's a threat? T cells have receptors that are tuned to a particular thing that can be presented on the cell being inspected. We call the presented thing an antigen. Maybe you've taken an antigen test recently. So T cells have to learn what antigens are a cry for help. Bonus fact, this is why we vaccinate. We basically run a what does COVID look like course in T cell school. When a new disease is picking up steam, it becomes pretty important to know how our immune system is reacting to it. Are our T cells learning to sound the alarm when they spot COVID? Are they working cooperatively throughout different parts of the immune system? A few research groups have been using the MX beamlines to answer these questions this year. One group found evidence that even people who haven't been exposed to COVID or the vaccine have a detectable immune response, possibly caused by their T cells being trained to recognize seasonal coronaviruses, also known as the common cold. They used the MX beamlines to see the structures of different antigens so they could compare similarities and differences between COVID and common colds from our T cells' point of view. The immune system is really complex though, so just because one part of our infected cells get noticed by T cell patrol guards, it doesn't mean we're off the hook. Another group looked at structures of a different part of our cells presenting different COVID-19 antigens and found that T cells couldn't recognize them as a threat. T cell training is the basis of vaccination and also for a lot of treatments for COVID infections. So as we learn more and more about how our immune system responds to COVID, we can get better at training our all-important T cells to do their jobs. T cells are just one part of the huge fleet of parts that make up our immune system, and we're very lucky to have them. We hope you all stay healthy over the Christmas break and give your T cells a much-deserved holiday.